What you have in the United States is a strange kind of system where the candidates of each party, and effectively because of gerrymandering, the representatives who govern us, are selected by 10, 5, sometimes 2% of people. So it neither reflects the opinions of a majority, and in fact, it is systematically biased towards people who are more politically engaged and tend to be more radical. But nor is it people who have institutional responsibility, right? These are not Democratic or Republican Party stalwarts who've gone to every party meeting for decades, who pay some kind of membership due and who has some kind of responsibility towards it. It's people who can just show up once every 4 years and derail things, right? So should we be rethinking the 50-year experiment in primary elections?
I mean, it's definitely something worth considering, though what I'm glad has taken place is that the parties are beginning to realize that the primaries are broken. Like, I mean, the Iowa caucus, God love that tradition, everyone eating those fried steaks, showing up fried Oreos at the county fair or whatever else. Like, you know.
Increasing the likelihood that a president has a heart attack since 1970.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you look at the Iowa caucus, that is one of the most obscene institutions you could possibly imagine. I mean, you have to show up. The way caucuses work in general, I mean, you have to show up on election night, go to a gym for several hours of a high school, debate with your neighbors who you're going to vote for, spend all this time, and then there's all sorts of complicated delegate math where it's unclear if your vote actually counts. It's definitely not one-to-one. And if you think about who that excludes, like anybody who needs to work at night, like single moms who need to take care of their kids, older people who can't go stand in a gym for several hours, like it just makes no sense. And so the status quo of primaries that includes caucuses and other extremely low turnout institutions does make no sense. And when states get rid of caucuses, as has happened in the last couple election cycles, turn out like quintuples. So what that tells me is that, yes, it's a problem that primary turnout's low in general, but that it's especially bad because the institutions are designed to make it almost impossible to vote. And that if you actually do make it easier to vote, more people turn out. So it is maybe worth giving it a shot. So like, what would happen if we actually built primaries in such a way that like people, it was easy to vote in them instead of building them so that it was really hard and self-selected for the people who want to spend several hours on a Tuesday night debating politics, which is just not the average American.